Hello and welcome to this video from Heybridge Maths Department, and today we're going to look at comparing data sets. So our first question, Tom and Jerry counted the number of cars that passed each of their houses each morning for the same 5 days. The pictograms below show their results. Who saw the most cars over the 5 days? You must show your working. So if we have a look at the pictogram for Tom first, one circle in Tom's pictogram means 4 cars. So if we have a look on Monday, he's got 2 circles, so he saw 2 lots of 4 cars, so he saw 8 cars. Tuesday he saw 4, 8, and then half a circle would be worth 2, so 8 plus 2 is 10 cars. Wednesday he saw 4 cars. Thursday he saw 10 cars, and Friday he saw 8 cars, and then we can add all of those together. So Tom, we will have 8, add 10, add 4, add 10, add 8, and that will give us 40 cars. Now let's have a look at Jerry. Now for Jerry, one circle only means 2 cars. So Jerry saw 3 circles, so he's got 3 circles for Monday. So that means he saw 6 cars. He actually saw 6 cars every day. So Jerry saw 6 cars every day for 5 days. So that means that altogether Jerry saw 30 cars. So Tom saw the most cars. With these pictogram questions, it's really important that you read the key, because even though Jerry has got more circles in his chart, each one of his circles is worth fewer cars. So you need to make sure that you're reading the key so that you're getting the correct numbers. Right, so we're now going to have a look at this bar chart, and we've got white bars which represent hot dogs and grey bars which represent pizzas, and we're going to compare the number of pizzas sold with the number of hot dogs sold. So how many pizzas were sold on a Wednesday? So we're going to go across to Wednesday, find the grey bar because that's what represents pizza, and we can read off from the scale that it will be 15. How many meals were sold on Thursday? So we're going to go across to Thursday. Now total meals means we've got to add hot dogs and pizzas. So 20 hot dog meals were sold and 15 pizzas. So if we add those together, we'll get the total number that was sold, and that will give us 35. Now on Friday, how many more pizzas were sold than hot dogs? So if I move across to Friday, 23 pizzas were sold, but only 12 hot dogs. So if I do 23 pizzas, take away my 12 hot dogs, 11 more pizzas were sold than hot dogs. Which day had a special offer on hot dog meals? Now if we have a look, the only day where the restaurant sells more hot dogs than pizzas is Thursday. So we can say that Thursday there was a special offer on hot dog meals. Over the week, how many meals were sold? So we need to work out what each bar is worth. So on Monday there were 10 hot dogs and 15 pizzas sold. Tuesday there were no hot dogs sold but 20 pizzas. And then Wednesday there were 5 hot dogs sold. And then we can add these together. So if we have a look for Monday, so Monday 10 add 15, so altogether 25 meals were sold. Tuesday was 20. Wednesday was 5 hot dogs and 15 pizzas. 5 add 15 is 20. Thursday was 20 hot dogs and 15 pizzas, which is 35. And then Friday was 12 hot dogs and 23 pizzas, which again is 35. So if we add these up, So I'm going to do 35 and 35 is 70. 20 and 20 is 40. 40 and 70 is 110. And then add on the 25. So altogether 135 meals were sold in the week. And then it says in total, how many more pizza meals than hot dog meals were sold? So let's work out how many pizzas were sold. So we had 15 on Monday, 20 on Tuesday, 15 on Wednesday, 15 on Thursday, and 23 on Friday. So 15 add 15 add 15 is 45. Add 20 is 65. Add 23 is 88. So altogether 88 pizza meals were sold. And then if we have a look at our hot dogs, so 10 were sold on Monday, none were sold on Tuesday, 5 on Wednesday, 20 on Thursday, and 12 on Friday. So 10 and 20 is 30, add 5 is 35, add 12 is 47. So now we can work out the difference. So 88 take away 47 will give us 41. So 41 more pizza meals than hot dog meals were sold. So now we're going to have a look at a question that involves pie charts. And we've got two rugby teams, under 13s and under 15s, and we've got some pie charts showing information about the number of games each team won and lost last season. And we're told that the under 13s played 28 matches and the under 15s played 18 matches. Which team won more matches? Show your workings. So if we start off with the under 13s, the sector of the pie chart that represents how many matches they won is this one, and we can see that that's 90 degrees. So the fraction of matches they won would be 90 out of 360. And if I cancel that, so I can divide through by 90, that will give me a quarter. So the under 13s won 1/4 of, they played 28 matches altogether, and that means that altogether they won 7 matches. Now let's have a look at the under 15s. So the sector of their pie chart that represents the number of matches that they won is 120 degrees. So the fraction of matches that they won is 120 over 360, because there are 360 degrees in the whole pie chart, and that will give us 1/3. So they won 1/3 of 18 matches. So I'm going to do 1/3 times 18, and that will give me 6 matches. So the under 13s won 7 matches, so the under 13s won more matches. So now we're going to have a look at this composite bar chart. So this is where we sit the bars representing different things, in this case juice and soda, on top of each other. So if we have a look at our key, juice is represented by the grey segments and soda is represented by the paler segments in the bars. So how many sodas did the cafe sell on Monday? So this is the part that represents soda, and it goes from 0 to 4, so we can see that they sold 4 sodas. How many drinks did the cafe sell on Tuesday? So that's all together. So we just read off how much the whole bar is worth. So on Tuesday, the cafe sold 6 drinks. How many juice drinks did the cafe sell on Thursday? Now this is where we have to be careful, because we're not starting from 0. We're actually starting from 8, and we're going to go up to 12. that part, that darker grey part, represents juice. So on Thursday, the cafe sold 4 juice drinks. Now, how many juice drinks did the cafe sell over the 4 days? So let's have a look. On Monday, we're going from 4 to 10. So on Monday, they sold 6 juice drinks. Tuesday, from 2 to 6, so they sold 4. Wednesday, all they sold was juice, so they sold 11. And we've already worked out that they sold 4 juice drinks on Thursday. So if we add those together, so we're going to do 6, add 4, add 11, add another 4. That will give us 25 juice drinks. So over the 4 days, the cafe sold 25. Now we're going to start bringing some averages in. So we're going to start bringing in some mean, median and mode, which are what we call our measures of central tendency. And we're also going to bring in some range, which is what we call a measure of spread or a measure of distribution. So this question says, the ages of men and women at a bowling club were recorded and the results are shown below. Compare the distributions of the ages of men and women. So we're going to find 2 things from our stem and leaf diagram. First of all, we're going to work out the range for each group. So to work out the range, we're going to take away the smallest value from the largest value. So if we have a look for men, the oldest man at the bowling club is 62 years old. The youngest man at the bowling club is 31 years old. So the range for men is 31. Now let's have a look for women. So the oldest woman at the bowling club is 73. The youngest woman at the bowling club is 34. So our range will be 39. Okay, now let's work out our median. So our median is our middle value. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 10 men. So let's start crossing out. So let's cross out the biggest and the smallest. Then again, the largest and the smallest. So we're left with 42 and 43. So the midpoint of that would be 43. So the median age for the men is 43. Right, now let's have a look at the women. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's a little bit easier. So we want the 7th value. So we're going to just count from the beginning. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the median age for the women is 59. And then we could write some statements about that. So we could say that the ages of the women are more spread out because the range for the women is bigger than the men. And we could say that the women are on average older than the men because the median age for the women is greater than the men. A teacher asked his class how long they spent revising for a test to the nearest hour. By calculating the mean, compare the amount of time boys and girls spent revising. So, calculating the mean from frequency table. So, we're going to multiply the hours by the frequency to find out the total number of hours that the boys spent revising altogether. So we're just going to multiply across the rows. And then if we add all those together, we'll find out that the boys spent 45 hours revising And if we add up the total frequency, so the total number of boys in the class, we're going to get 15. And then we're going to do the same thing for the girls. So we're going to multiply across our columns again. So altogether, when we add those, the girls spent 26 hours revising. And again, there are 15 girls. So let's work out the means. So the boys is going to be the total number of hours that they spent studying divided by how many boys are in the class. So 45 divided by 15 is 3 hours. So the average amount of time that the boys spent revising for the test is 3 hours each. Now the girls, we're going to get 26 over 15. And if we turn that into a mixed number, that will give us 1 and 11 over 15 hours. And 11's more than half of 15, so that's going to be closer to 2. So to the nearest hour, because that's what it asks for in the question, the girls spent 2 hours each studying. So we could say that on average, the boys spent more time revising for the test than the girls. 2 people work in a factory making parts for cars. The table shows how many complete parts they make in 1 week. So we can see here that we've got 2 workers, we've got Fred and we've got Harry. And it shows us for each of the 5 days that they're at work in a week, how many car parts they make. So let's have a look at question A. So find the mean and the range for Fred and Harry. So let's find the mean first. So for Fred, so to find the mean, we need to add together all of these numbers, and then these represent 5 days. So we're going to divide our total by 5. So we're going to have 20, add 21, add 22, add another 20, add another 21. So that's going to give us 104. And we need to divide that by 5. So 104 divided by 5 will give us 20.8. And then let's move on to Harry. So the mean for Harry, we're going to have 30, add 15, add 12, add 36, add 28. And that will give us 121. So then we're going to work out our mean. So 121 divided by 5 will give us 24.2. Now let's work out our range. So let's have a look at Fred. So the most parts that Fred makes in 1 day is 22, and the fewest he makes is 20. So Fred's range is 2. Okay, and then if we look at Harry, so the most that Harry makes in 1 day is 36, and the fewest he makes is 12. So Harry's range is 24. Question B is asking us who is most consistent. Now, when you're looking for consistency, you're looking for the smallest range. So the smallest range is Fred. So Fred is more consistent. Who makes the most parts in a week? So if we go back over to our means, we can see that Fred makes 20.8 a day, Harry makes 24.2 a day, so Harry would make more parts in a week. We can also do that just by adding together all of the parts and comparing the numbers, which we had here. Fred made 104 and Harry made 121. So a gardener buys 10 packets of seeds from 2 different companies. Each pack contains 20 seeds, and he records the number of plants which grow from each pack. And we need to find the mean, median and mode for each company's seeds. So let's start off by finding the mean. So what we're going to do is we're going to add all of the number of plants that he's grown together for company A, and then we're going to do exactly the same thing, add them all together for company B. So the total for company A is 159 plants, and the total for company B is 169 plants. So let's work out the means. So for A, it's going to be 159 over, bought 10 packets from each company. So the mean for A would be 15.9 plants. We can't have 0.9 of a plant, so let's call that 16 plants. And then B, we've got 169 over 10, which is 16.9, and again we can't have 0.9 of a plant, so let's round that up to 17 plants. Now let's have a look at the median. So the median, we actually need to put these numbers in order. So, and then we're going to find our middle value. So our median, so for company A, so we've got 5, 6, 8, and then we've got 7 20s. Okay, so if we cross off from either end, 1 from either end, and then the next smallest and the next largest, and the next smallest and the next largest, and the next smallest and the next largest. So our median for A will be 20. Then let's have a look at B. So we've got 15, 15, 16, and then we've got 3 17s, and 1, 2, 3, 4 18s. So let's do the same thing again, cross off from either end, smallest, largest, smallest, largest, smallest, largest, missed an 18 off. There we go. So we've got 2 17s in the middle, so the median for B is 17. And then we need the mode. The mode is the most common. So for A, 20 appears 7 times, so the mode for A will be 20. And for B, 18 appears 4 times, so the mode for B will be 18. Now, which company does the mode suggest is best? Well, the mode is higher for A, so that would suggest that on average you're going to grow a greater number of plants from each pack from company A. However, question C asks us, which company does the mean suggest is best? Now the mean for company B is greater, so the mean would suggest that you can grow more plants from the seeds of company B. So that one suggests that company B is better. And now finally we need to find the range for each company's seeds. So for A, so the greatest number of plants that grew is 20 and the smallest number is 5, so that will give 15. And for B, the greatest number that grew is 18 and the smallest number is 15, and that will give us 3. And the range would suggest that the seeds from company B are more consistent, so you're more likely to get a number of plants growing somewhere between 15 and 18. Company A is a little bit hit and miss. Yes, you do quite often get 20, but then you get some packets of seeds where a very, very small number grow. So using the range, it would seem that company B is more consistent with the number of plants that will grow from each pack.